All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Warakha Kwadash, which Yahweh, that's the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai, that's whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, that's his true name, and Rakha Kwadash, that is the Holy Spirit. And I also want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well in the scriptures. And salutations to all the brothers out there who are pushing his word in all truth and in all sincerity. And today I just want to get into a lesson that was that was inspired by a conversation that I had with the elder brother Lahab out here in GMS Chicago. And we were talking about a couple things. And, you know, the main topic that we were talking about was these fallouts, okay? You know, the ones that are currently, falling out. And then also, these, past fallouts, that fell out years and years ago, okay? And one of the things that I said to the brother was, the reason why these guys fall out is ultimately they just didn't like order, okay? They didn't like order. And that's why a lot of them, they'll always... What I've noticed, they'll start, bringing out the doctrine of you don't need men to teach you, and the Holy Spirit has taught them. Okay, they like to bring that out, and like I said, ultimately these guys, they don't like dealing with order. They don't like answering to another man. Okay, especially another man that they don't particularly get along with. They got to answer to a man they they bump heads with. All right, that's just something, like I said, I've noticed. Throughout the years, with these fallouts. Okay, and look, whether you like it, believe it or not, the Lord, okay, is setting up the governing body right before your eyes, man. All right, the governing body is being established right now. Okay, and we're gonna get some scriptures, all right, to prove what I'm saying. And let's get Psalms 50, and we'll start at 21. It says these things. Now, when you read up above, it's going into Esau. It's talking basically. The scriptures are talking about Esau. Okay, all right, just so have an idea of what's going on. Okay, by the time you hit this verse. But it says here in Psalms 50 and 21, these things thou hast done, and I kept silent, meaning the Lord kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them, and that's talking about the Israelites, and set them in order before thy eyes. So the Lord is going to set us in order before the faces of our enemies, in particular, the Edomites. But it's, I'll say this, the whole world is seeing it, okay? From Esau, Edom, to the rest of the heathens, and to the 2/3 of our, own people, okay? You see? And let's get this word order here. All right, let's just get this real quick. I believe it's what is it? Is it Tazarak? All right. And it says here here's some of the definitions: to arrange, set or put or lay in order, set in array. And I looked up this word array real quick. All right, earlier, and this is a good definition here. This is a array, right? It says arrangement, assembling. All right, assemblage. Line up, a formation, ordering. So point being, it's a lineup. Okay, and when you have a lineup, you have what? Piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece 4, so on and so forth. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's setting up order. As the elder, Yakia out here in Chicago says, there's a rank and file. Okay, and each man has his particular position. All right, but you see these guys that fall out, they didn't want to deal with, these particular things. Because what comes with that is, when you have men above you, you got to deal with rebukes, reproofs, okay? You got to deal with another man telling you what to do, so to speak. You're going to have to deal with another man, talking more than you while you're teaching, all right? And for some guys, that's just too much. And ultimately, just a side note, it's because of their pride. This is the reason why they hate it, all right? This is the reason why they hate it. It's because of their pride, The things that I was telling you, are just saying a moment ago, that, that strikes down their ego. That strikes down their pride. That they got to, listen to a man curse them out. They have to shut their mouths when, that particular older, brother is, or elder is speaking. Okay? They got to, do XYZ things in the camp, because that's a commandment from, from the elders and older, Akim in the camp. All right? And that drives them nuts. That literally drives them nuts. So then they end up, leaving or getting kicked out. And then one of the doctrines that ends up coming out is you don't need, men to teach you. There is no order, okay? And the Holy Spirit is the one that, is teaching us all. All right? You see? Okay, now let's let me get this in the book of what is it? Isaiah, the first chapter. So now we got that, right? So this is Isaiah, the first chapter. Oh, whoops. It's the 19th verse, I believe, though. Or is it the 20th verse? I know it's somewhere around there. Here we go. A little bit farther down. This is Isaiah 1:26, and it reads here, I will restore thy judges as at the first. And you know what? Let me just look it up. Gotta look up these words. When you start looking up these Hebrew words, these Greek words, start going to the etymology of these words, you get more understanding of the scriptures. Okay, and then I'll say this too. It really cuts these guys. It really cuts them. This is the Hebrew word. I think it's pronounced shawab, if I'm not mistaken. All right, forgive me if I'm wrong on this. This is H7725, and there's a few definitions here, right? It says to return, okay? It says restore, refresh, repair, to lead away. Salaki, no, not that one. But it says to restore, refresh, repair. It says give back. That's right. So point being, though, is the Lord, He's restoring us. He's refreshing us. Okay, that's one of the definitions there too. He's repairing us. Okay, because what does it say here? I will restore. Oh, it says give back too. All right. So the Lord's going to what? Give back thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. All right. So, because I'll say this, the elect men, they've, which are the prophets, okay, they've always been around throughout the generations. They've always been in the midst, all right, of the people. And they've been doing the same thing since the beginning of time. Reproving and rebuking and getting things in order. Okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You see? And they're back here again. But you see, you got men, particular men out there, they don't want, these things. And that's because they don't, get the shine. They get in their feelings when they get checked. Okay? So now, all of a sudden, I'll say this, after all these years, right, they've been amongst us, they were teaching with us, they were, eating with us, drinking with us, all these things, right? Everything was cool. Then all of a sudden, the second they want to, and then they were always saying, yeah, we're the men of the Lord. Oh yeah, I'm for sure. I know deep down in my heart, this brother and that brother, they got to be a part of the elect. They say all these things, right? When they're amongst us, but then the second they either walk away or fall out, now all of a sudden we're not the men of the Lord. We're just the wicked, scribes and Pharisees. All right, we're false prophets. Okay, false teachers, etc. Out of nowhere. We're just, just the worst thing on God's green earth, See, this is what happens, all right? This is what happens when these guys don't get their, like I said, their shine, when they're not the top dog, okay? When they're getting checked. They become bitter then. That's what they are. They're just like a bitter woman. That's how they act. As my brother Ioannis said, okay, because I watched his video this morning. He made a statement in his new video. He said, first he said these guys act like, like bitchs, okay? All right? But he said, no, they're actually worse than a woman, okay? Because at least a woman, let's just say you all split ways, right? You deal with the woman for some time, and, things happen and, you end up parting ways. That woman eventually, she's going to find a new man and just, keep him moving. These guys, they become obsessed with us. This is all they can talk about is GMS. The apostles, are going off. These brothers did this to me. This, that, and the third. All right? That's all they talk about for years. Talk about, these particular doctrines that they push forth. They'll talk about that for how long? They don't get into anything else anymore. Nothing else is relevant. As the brother Ioannis was saying, like, you guys are just demons, man. It's like, okay, cool, you disagree with us in a particular, all right, a particular thing in the scriptures, all right, but what about teaching, what about teaching what about warning the people, all right, teaching the people about the history of the scriptures, okay, going into conduct, so on and so forth. Now, all that's just, irrelevant. It's just, how bad we are. And, and you pushing, that false, doctrine that's in your mind. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But let's get back to this. This is Isaiah 1:26. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. And you see, that's what's fast approaching. The whole world's going to know that we are, the true Israelites, okay? We're the city of righteousness, and the reason why we're going to be called that is because we're going to be the people that are going to be pushing forth the laws, okay? Very soon, once we get into power, because remember, I'll say this, once we're in power, we're going to rule this whole earth with the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which those laws are righteous. So that's why we're going to be called the city of righteousness. Okay? The faithful city. You see? But hey, we got to have the 144,000, okay, be established first before all these things can occur. Okay? You see, but and with that being said, order is getting established then. Because if you don't have order, you have what? Chaos. And the Lord's, he's not the author of confusion. All right? The Lord likes everything done what? Decently and in order, as the scriptures say. So it's not going to be a free-for-all. And look, in the kingdom, there's going to be no rebellion like this. You're not going to have, a lower level Israelite trying to come up, okay, against the order. It's not going to happen. It's not. Okay. Now let's get this. This is Second Ezra. So I actually pulled this out in my lesson yesterday. This is Second Ezra 1, and we'll start at 36. Oh, we'll start at 37. Main points in 39 and 40. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness. And though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the things that I say. And the elect, I'll say this, they believe. The elect believe, even though they haven't seen, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai with their actual eyes. Okay? But they believe in the spirit that this is the truth. And that's a gift from the Most High, because faith is a gift. You see, Ephesians 2 and 12, it tells you that. And if you don't have that gift, you're just through. You're done. Okay? Let me keep reading. And now, brethren, behold, what glory, and see the people that come from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders. See, leaders. So right there, it shows you there's going to be an order to things. Okay? There will be an order. And it says, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Obadiah, Jonas, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Lord. Okay, so right there, Ezra was told that, the Lord is going to set up these leaders. Okay? The Lord is going to set up these leaders at some point. And some of them are here right now, as we speak. There might be a Jeremiah walking around. There might be the Apostle Paul walking around. Okay? You might have a Malachi walking around, so on and so forth. Who knows? Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai knows. We don't. Okay, but I'll say this. There are prophets that we read about. They're here on earth right now through reincarnation. Okay? They are here. Whether you believe it or not. We don't care if you do. Anyways. We don't care if you don't believe it. We don't care if you don't like it. Whatever. The hell with you guys. Because look, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai's word will stand. Okay? All right? Trying to think. Had two other scriptures. I should have pulled out that Revelation a little earlier, but through the Spirit, I ended up not getting it. Because, Revelation, the 11th chapter, talks about that the Spirit, entering into us, and that we'll stand up on our feet. Okay? But let's get this real quick in Revelation, the 7th chapter. It's Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of the children of Israel. Now, I'm going to skip down a little bit, all right? But, it talks about in verse 5, 6, 7, and 8, how there's going to be 12,000 out of each tribe Okay, how they're going to be how these servants are going to be sealed. Okay, there's 12,000 out of each tribe. Okay, now let's go down a little bit more. And it says here, what? After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number. Oh, by the way, it says what? After this. So those men, all right, those elect men, all right, the 144,000, 12,000 out of each tribe. Hey, they're the ones who are first in line, so to speak. Okay? That right there proves order. Then afterwards, what? After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. Okay? And when you go into I believe it's the words kindred. I think it's kindred. Let me just double check. It goes into basically your ethnicity. So this is all though that great multitude is are Israelites, okay? They came from all these different lands, okay? And these are part of these are the 1/3, okay? Are part of these people are part of the 1/3, okay? I think it's kindred, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, kindred talks about a tribe. And actually, when you go down, it says what? In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 tribes of the patriarch Jacob. Straight to the point. Israelites. Okay? Israelites. You see? The point being, though, is there's an order to this thing. He showed you how the 144,000 were sealed. Then, all right, then came after them. Then came the 1/3. Those, all right, who believe in the message that the prophets are presenting. All right, the men, women, and children that believe in what's being said. Okay. All right, and I just wanted to show. The body that there's an order to things, okay? I mean, we could get so many scriptures, but these are just some quick ones, and they're straight to the point, okay? Even just a little side note, you can read the story yourself. I believe it's in the Gospels when you had I believe it was who was it? Was it John and Peter? Okay. When you let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh man, I forgot how it's exactly worded. I believe it was John and Peter, though. If I'm wrong, forgive me for that. But in the Gospels, basically, after Yahushua, died, right? You had I believe, like I said, I believe it was John and Peter. They heard that basically Yahushua, his body was gone, and they ran to the tomb, and John got there first, okay, but he didn't enter in. He waited for whom? Peter. And the reason why that he didn't enter in first was because Peter was above him. So he waited. He had order, structure. Okay? You see? All right. And then even Yahushua said that Peter was going to be the head of the church. Hey, look, the Apostle Paul, he went to Jerusalem to talk to the Apostle Peter, okay, about the whole Gentile situation. He just didn't rebel and act crazy. No, man, he went to the head of the church to talk about the situation, okay, that was at hand. Like, these guys are crazy, man, and out of their goddamn minds, man. This is why, hey, you don't, I mean, unless you're a part of the 2/3 club, okay? But, hey, just don't listen to these guys. I'll say this for you newcomers. When you see a person from GMS, all right, they fall out, they do their own thing, all right, whatever, they get kicked out, don't listen to them, man. Don't listen to them. Because the majority of the time, they're going to start, spewing out madness and abominations, okay? And that could poison your mind, man. Especially if you're not rooted and grounded. That could really poison your damn mind. Next thing you know, you believe in their madness. And now you're just bugged out as well. So for you newcomers too, man, stay away from these guys. Don't watch their videos. Okay? Unless, hey, like I said, unless you want to listen to what they're talking about and get tainted yourself. Okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it, I'm pretty much end this lesson. All right. Salaki, I just want to double check this because it's like really irking me that I don't know where this is at. Let me see something real quick. Man, I forget where it's at. Like I said, it's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look it up later, Lord's will. But like I said, I believe it was John. Like I said, it was the apostle Peter and the apostle John. They were together when that situation happened. Like I said, I believe he waited, but like I said, excuse me and forgive me if I'm wrong, about who was there exactly, okay? But like I said, look it up and you'll find it. But I'm gonna end off this lesson, and with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shemel Shai. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, all right, who rule and teach well in the scriptures. And salutations to all you brothers out there. Shalom. All right, and a Bible ball.